of Xenodemon toys. Now, that has been like a thing we've all been debating. Are we saying that right? Xenodemon toys?
Yeah, man. Yeah, like Xenodemon, like Xenomorph.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm a massive Aliens fan. As you can see, got my picture of Ripley up there. Yeah, my dog's called Ripley, so yeah, I'm just vibing off that, man. I wanted to kind of incorporate Xenodemon, but yeah, you know how it is.
I think, if anything, I'm always kind of intrigued to hear how everybody comes up with their brand name or tagger name, I suppose. You always mention the little village, and I don't know if everybody understands like how small of areas. Hello Radical Toys in Sacramento, he was telling me yesterday, 2 million people in his town. And meanwhile, you're from a very small town. Am I mistaken, or?
Yeah, I mean, I live 10 minutes outside of a big town.
Right.
So yeah, and it's just sort of in this tiny village. I say tiny, about 2,500 people. So I don't know, that's still quite big, I think. But yeah, it's still a bit strange being the weird guy in the village, you know. But I try and own it as best I can.
If anything, I think that's you kind of see it throughout all the arts community in general. You often have these people that they did feel a little bit kind of maybe alienated, and they did want to kind of be different and carve their path.
Do you know who I've got my best relationship with in this village? The postman. Because I've got that much shit coming that I'm using to make stuff, and that many toys that I've ordered off other, you know, toy makers and stuff. But yeah, the postman's like my best friend. I see him pretty much every day. You know.
Because you're an avid collector as well. You're like, I know your account for Xenodemon toys was only around November 30th, around that end of November. But you yourself, like, you seem to be quite the avid collector as well.
Yeah, I am. Well, I had another account on Instagram, so I kind of. It was Mike's Wanderer, my Instagram was, and there's loads of like toys and stuff on there that I collect, music and all that kind of things. And when I decided, you know, to start making toys, I thought try and move it over a little bit, because I was flooding it with all. Do you know what I mean? I'm quite. You probably noticed with my account, I'm posting shit all the time, but that I am quite manic in that way. So the way I come off is kind of how I am on Instagram as well. So it's yeah, you know. I'm quite full on with it.
And that's obvious though, because this might be one of the first times this has actually happened where I've liked a piece so much that before the unboxing has even come out, I've actually ordered and met with the artist before that unboxing. Look at those veins, holy cow. Crumbs, bud. Sorry, I didn't expect that. Sorry guys. I don't know why, I always want to say Xenodomino. So forget I said that, cross that out of your brain. Don't get that in your brain, get Xenodemon toys in your brain. Here I'm just shaking it up. The Xenodemon toys came out of nowhere, instantly blew my mind, had the phenomenal colors, had this weird like totem tiki style going on. We started chatting it up. Seems like a totally rad artist. I'm literally taking like a Russian roulette at my groin and thighs here. I'm just constantly hacking away. If there's anything left. Xenodemon toys. Xenodemon toys was just a top-notch individual to work with to get these here, because I panicked. I straight up panicked when I didn't see this unicorn poop available in the store. I'm going to be themed here. I'm really sorry. Xenodemon, you got awesome headers. They're gorgeous. I'm sorry, but I've got a unicorn poop. And I'm going to show it off. I know you guys love making these. I love showing them off. Xenodemon toys. So think like Xenomorph, but then demon toys. And everything I hope for. It's actually the two heads too. I don't know if like everyone's really catching that when they're seeing them. It's not like you have to choose between whether or not you want that rad face or whether you want the other rad face. You get the two rad faces. And it articulates. So you can put some bling on that bad boy. Super stoked about this. It actually kind of reminds me of like little wooden antlers and such. Colors are great. We're gonna get all the close-up pictures of that later. Comes even a little tiny piece there. I like that. Yep, nailed it. Check them out. There's another one in here though. Oh, you're probably seeing these ones come out. Sorry guys. I'm just getting a little bit too excited, dudes. All right, pop it up. Okay. Let's start this page, or if you're going to their page right now, you're gonna actually see a bunch of the colors that they have going on, but I can't be any happier about this. Got the little eye on the back there. Boom. Look at those little eyeballs poking out there. Ugh, yeah, I'm stoked. And again, little necklace for my homie. Boom. What's up? So you're actually getting like multiple pieces with your pieces. I love it. Smells exceptionally good. I'm gonna give it to him. I don't know if you're lighting a lot of incense at home, or if you're using some kind of scented resin. Keep in mind, girthy. Don't just judge it by the length. Gotta make sure you judge that girth. Thank you very much. Beautiful toys. It is some sick detail. But like this would have been one of the first style ones you released, the Xenodemon. And right off the hop, what catches me off guard, man, like even with the articulation right off the hop.
Yeah. Do you know where I kind of got that though? And it's a big shout out to Jace at Phil Puckett, you know, Phil Puckett Toy Company.
No.
You know, you must the Neds that he makes. Yeah, these Nucho Neds that he makes. They're like these really crazy little disturbed babies with their umbilical cords around the necks. And yeah, magnetic head. So I spoke to Jace and I said to him, look, I'm doing this toy. Would you mind if I went for the magnetic kind of like, you know, so it's not my idea. People have been using magnets for years, man.
You don't often see them on something that's this would normally be like a tribal static figure, like a little totem.
Yeah.
And the fact that you added in that additional head is just a whole new element. The fact you can swap them out, do different combinations, and I think it's sick. You add like a little bling that you're gonna
Well, I used to collect a lot of stuff by Ashley Wood, you know, 3A, the robots and stuff.
You're dropping so many artists that I'm not familiar with.
Oh, I don't have any to hand, but 1/6 scale, like posable, like proper action figures. But he does robots and all kinds of things, and it really got me into the photography side. You know, taking pictures of the toys. So when I did my Xenodemons, I was like, I don't want something that is just static. I want something with a bit of expression, and I think just by putting that head and being able to, it gives you 360 degrees, well, 740 degrees of, you know, photography, I guess. Just gives you a little bit more to play with. You know, that's kind of why I did it. So, but, yeah, took a lot of inspiration from Jace, to be fair, because he's another solid dude in the toy community, and he just he sort of pushed me because I was talking to him about making something, and he was just like, do it, dude. Yeah, man, he was sort of my gateway into making. So yeah, check him out, Phil Puckett Toys. Really cool.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna be hitting you up to drop a couple of the artists that we just.
I'll message you after, man.
We've actually got one of the Xeno Druids.
Yeah, man. People keep wanting me to make more of those, but I need to do another cast because they are they're fucking hard to cast, man. They're a pain. With no pressure part as well. You know, I have to mold them at an angle so the back of the hood fills, and then after so much time add the rest, and it's they're a pain, but I will make more. I've got a few guys that want one, so I'm gonna make some more of those.
This is you do a two-part on this, correct? Because the face.
I cast the face flat, so and with it being really thin, I can get it crystal clear, because it's like making jewelry. You know, jewelry if it's really thin in epoxy resin, the bubbles rise really quickly, so it's clear. But when you're doing something as tall as that, the bubbles take ages to, you know, get to the top, and it starts to solidify, so the bubbles get trapped. So with little flat surfaces, you can get clear cast. So I did the face flat and the necklace flat. It's just so it would be nice and clear. So at least one part of it looks nice, you know.
Dude, you've put a lot of thought into this. You post so much, but you sell a lot. Like I'm sorry if that comes off offensive, but I literally woke up in the morning and I messaged Hell Radical Toys demanding to know if he had grabbed this, because I went to bed with a picture of it being like, I need that. And in the morning off your shop, and I panicked. I literally panicked, reached out, and it seems to be though, like your stuff flies, man.
But do you know what? I'm just happy that I get enough to cover my materials,
right,
and buy other toys. That is where all my profits go. And you know, this is no business secret or anything like that. You know, I make toys because I love toys and I love buying other people's toys, and it's a good way. It's a good way to earn a bit of money to buy other people's toys and get your art out there as well, and be part of a really cool community. That's why I do it, man. That's why I do it, and kind of passing it on a little bit as well. You know.
I wasn't even trying to say it as like you move a lot of product in the sense of like, I just meant
I'm really up against it with the shipping. You know, you dudes, for those kind of, you know, that size, you're charging, most of the guys in the US are charging $25-$30 for a 2-inch, you know, and for me it's like I've got to pay $20 just to get it out to you. So really I'm only charging sort of $10-$15 for my piece because I want to get it out there. So it's crazy, man. It's shipping bullshit, and customs as well.
Oh.
But the thing is, though, man, you need to get it out there, because without people visually seeing it, you're not going to get anyone buying it. So you know, I've always said the important thing to me is just to get the things I make out there, and you know, the sort of joy I get when I see a picture that someone's got something in hand, or like I'll look at a picture like this, you know, and I'll be looking at the shelf and I'll be like, oh, that's one of mine on there. That's the best thing about it, you know, just getting it out there. So if I could give toys away, I would actually give them away, but it's hard, man. It's materials and shit, you know, it all costs a lot. That.
Well, and that's actually another thing that comes into play a lot of the times, is that some guys don't realize the cost of material varies. If you're in the United States, you might be able to get a gallon of resin for, you know, $1.50, $1.80. But if you're in Australia, you're looking closer to $2.40. I'm not sure what. But that's something that becomes a huge overhead that is completely different than all your competitors.
Yeah.
They're not competitors. They're the fellow artists in the community. But at the end of the day, you're all making art. You'd all like to get your art out there. And when suddenly shipping or finances become an obstacle, it's very frustrating to try and get it out there. This is a good example, I would say, though, where it's like your work got here, and then, like I said, I didn't even get a chance to get the unboxing up.
Yeah.
We needed more.
Yeah.
Here's on top of it. If you don't mind, I'm gonna rip into it really quickly because I'm curious too. No.
Yeah. You do it. I just hopefully nothing. I should include a tube of super glue with each box just in case like the magnets fall out or something, you know. That'd be a nice little touch, wouldn't it? A little bit of super glue.
Dude, honestly, the way I always look at it is, maybe this is weird too, but I try and view it as we buy the art from the artist, and then technically you could just hold on to it and be like, come get it, man. But then we actually pay the postal service to do the whole other part. So if anything came, that's not on you guys. That's always on the postal.
You know, I've fixed so many toys. You know, it happens, but I never moan or get frustrated with the artist. It's sometimes it's just one of those things, and for a drop of super glue, you can just put it back together, you know. So.
I typically wouldn't even actually say anything to an artist, I don't think. If it came a little bit like that and I just had to super glue it, I'd probably try and just kind of get it fixed before it even came up.
Yeah, make sure you keep that in the video, because now you're opening it. I just want to make, you know.
That's the insurance policy. Again, you haven't even been doing this all that long, but you're already you're pumping out 6 fresh stickies, like.
Yeah. Do you want to know something? I actually spoke to him beforehand, and I made sure it was okay that I could say this. But I've got someone doing the artwork for my latest big guy. I really love this one. I mean.
Oh, dude. I get, man.
I've kept a bit of the Xeno sort of. He's got like a Xeno tail. My wife thinks he looks a bit like a rat, but yeah, man. And the head's obviously the head's on a magnet, so I've got some of those casting up. I wanted to get one out for you, but yeah, my resin's like 48 hours curing time, so they're not ready. They'll be ready tomorrow. So anyway, I've been chatting to this guy, Mr. Spookfish. Does the crazy divers and the eyes and all that kind of stuff. Well, yeah, he's going to do me the artwork for the either for a sticker or a header for these guys. So, because yeah, man, I love his nautical divers and the big eyes, and obviously I do a lot. I like the eyes and stuff, you know. So yeah, he's gonna do me some artwork. So I'm pretty pumped about that.
He's on fire. He's a very talented artist in general.
Man, he can do it all. Dude. He can draw. He can make figures. Yeah, man.
Nails it all. Did you do the artwork on these stickers though, and like for your?
No. A friend of mine, Gareth. He's on Instagram. He's on the back. Actually, no, he's on there. He's on the header. Yeah, he's on the back of the header, and he's called Garth. And yeah, he's like an artist designer and stuff. So yeah, he did that for me. So.
You are a teacher, right? Is that okay to bring that up?
Yeah. Well, I'm a mental. I work in a school with little kids, 10-year-olds.
Okay.
And I'm an SEMH coordinator. So I look after their mental well-being, like through art and music. I do play music and stuff. So yeah, that's what. Yeah, I'm their rock star. These little kids.
You must be like the coolest adult figure that's like an administrative figure they've ever met.
I don't know, man. Weirdest, yeah, maybe. I don't know. No, do you know, the kids don't get the art, man. They don't get the toys I make. They're like, you know, what's this shit? They don't get it.
I would have thought their mind would be blown by the fact that like a person they know is able to create a physical toy.
Yeah, I don't know though. I mean, this is probably a conversation for another time, but you know, kids, a lot of it's YouTube all the time, man. And they're not. Sometimes if it's not their thing, It's not their thing. So anything else outside the box, it's hard to break it down. But I'll get them to the point where they've all got one of my toys. Yeah, definitely.
Dude, you're insane.
Is that the one I gifted? Is that the one I gifted you, or is that the one for you?
I believe this was a gifted one.
Yeah, man. That's a that's super pink glow in the dark, dude.
Okay, I'm gonna have to make sure to blast that later with the glow in the dark.
Yeah. Give it a good blasting. Get it in the daylight.
And then there was actually one in here that I'm not sure if I'm really allowed to show it off, but this is my first time seeing it. The Sluggers. Am I allowed to show it off, man?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I've made a few. They're especially for you, though.
May I pull it out?
Yeah.
Okay, frig, cool. I always like to. I'm really sorry, because the last thing I ever want to do is insult somebody or anything like that. But yes, so this is the Sluggers are done. Dude, these were gone so fast.
Yeah, but to be honest, no one seemed really keen on them. So yeah, I made one more. I've still got the sculpt. I've still got that. Yeah, I just kind of gave up on them a little bit.
In this, man. Wow. All right, I know it's gonna be weird, but dude, your pieces always actually have a very particular good smell to them. I mentioned that in the red one, but dude, your sculpts are insane.
That's how I smell. I sense everything with me.
Every piece finishes, and instead you don't even cover it in a finish. That's actually just rubbing it across your beard and that's how you polish it off.
Yeah.
And I've got to say too, that's a lot of resin, man. Holy
yeah, man.
Dude. Sorry, I don't mean to go ape over it, but I even love I think you've shared some pictures on your Instagram. I love how even the bottom sit.
That's the lighter effect. If you use a lighter and man, get it nice and smooth, get all the bubbles out. And it's just something else to look at, I guess.
I've never heard anybody actually bring that up. Sorry. Do you mind kind of touching a little bit on what you mean by hitting it with the lighter?
Obviously, as the bubbles rise, it just pops them, and then you get to a point where the bubbles obviously stop rising because it starts to thicken, starts to cure, and then you don't have to worry about it. But yeah, I'll keep going back over 3-4 hours, making sure all the bubbles are out of them.
Yeah, that's insanity. I've never heard anybody. So you just go over top of your mold, while it's curing.
Yeah. I do it about 6 or 7 times over 4 hours. I just like the flat effect.
Whoa.
After that, when I've took it out of the mold, I'll rub it on some real fine wet sandpaper just to give it that kind of the grey edge around it.
Yep. It rounds it in.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Even the fact that you're using the wet sandpaper, dude, is this, if you don't mind my asking, how did you learn? Did you just start watching YouTube videos? Was this something that you're just you put your mind rolling?
Just watching other people's videos. Treat resin a bit like hot chocolate. You know the powdered hot chocolate. If you've got a load of powder and you just chuck it in and loads of water and mix it up, it's all lumpy and shit. Add a little bit of water, mix it around, make it smooth. Just a lot of it's just trial and error, and like hot chocolate. But, yeah. I've got a clever wife as well. My wife's really good at a lot of things, so she kind of gives me some ideas and stuff. But yeah.
My freaking goodness, yeah, that's really cool, man. I'm sorry, that's just really cool to me. This one is actually going to a homie.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, the one. I really like the marbling guys. They were cool.
Man, again, you're doing a lot of stuff. A lot of dudes take almost a year to start dabbling with. You carved your own sculpts. You're molding your own sculpts. You're then casting the molds, pouring the castings, playing with marbling. Even a lot of dudes don't like mixing the 2 resins at one time. And you're just, whatever, mixing the 2 resins, playing with some glitter. Fearless. Yeah. Fearless. You're a monster, man. This is. I really like how a lot of times there'll be the little wooden type of horns.
Yeah.
Here, throughout all the pieces. Or you'll see the tongue poking out on this one here, and all of a sudden you'll start looking around and you'll notice other places where you have the eyes and the little tongues, and it's just I dig that, man. I like how it.
Yeah, man. It's a hard one because I feel like I've put myself in a little bit of a box in a way because, you know, I'm Xenodemon Toys but then I think it's a good thing as well because I'm kind of like continuing with that kind of story. It's a hard one, man. Sometimes I want to just go completely out of the box and make something totally different, you know? But that always kind of draws me back into I guess it's my style of sculpting, and you know, I'm not the best sculptor. I'm really not. I mean, there's some crazy guys on Instagram, you know, but I try and make stuff that works and just kind of casts well, you know. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to get a complicated idea out of my head in a basic kind of way, you know.
And I get that. I would say what makes a good sculptor. Like at the end of the day, if you were able to translate something from your brain and you're happy and pleased with the sculpt, and then you're able to actually make a mold that actually is successful and pulls nicely, at the end of the day, how is that not a good sculptor? You've just designed a sculpt.
Yeah, and that's how I bring myself around, really. And I think, yeah, you know, it's still nice stuff that you're making, and yeah, you have to, but that's how it is. I think when you're making anything, you constantly, oh yeah, that's cool, and then you look at it the next day and you're like, oh, that's a bit shit. It's
found something that it's working.
Yeah.
Also hard to be like, well, I'd really like to experiment with this idea as well.
Yeah, man, yeah. Well, that's kind of what happened with the sluggers. You know, I made them, and everyone was more interested in the Xenodemon. So I was like, oh, you know, yeah, it's just how it is. That might become a super rare piece one day, man.
Well, dude, I really do think maybe the issue was we just like. You hadn't seen them, like maybe it was just wrong timing. Maybe we just hadn't seen enough of them. I liked them, man. When I found out that you didn't have them going anymore, it was like, who is this guy? How is this happening? And then, meanwhile, this is a trippy one because I remember you shared this.
Do you know? I was thinking, where's that? I was trying to remember where that'd gone. And then I remembered yesterday. I was like, oh, that went to you, and I was like, oh, that was my favourite one, man. But
dude,
no, it just hung about. All the other colorways went, and I was like, why is this one not going? Because I like it, man. It's my favourite.
I couldn't believe that this one wasn't gone. So what actually happened is I snagged this one, and literally I think it was like the very, very, very next day. You sent me a picture.
You see, that was my least favourite. That was my least favourite one, the one you snagged. I was like, what's you got that one for? It's just, you know.
And then the very next day, you posted this insane one. And so when you even shared the ones you had left, I thought to myself, there's no way that that's the one. Because I even asked you, I was like, oh, well, you don't have that one, right? You're like, that is this one. And right away, I was like, okay, need it. This is the dopest one, man. Like the sparkles just resting so nice. Like
that's the one that went to the beach. I think I took a picture of it near the beach.
And,
yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Again, your work is insane, man. And like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty stoked that their heads are pretty like spot on. Man, that is absolutely wild. Like, if you don't mind like, do you have an artist that you're inspired by? Like, did these just come from your brain? Like,
yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously the Xeno, you know, the Xenomorph kind of thing. But yeah, you know, I started making those, and I wasn't even thinking sort of totem, Aztec, anything like that. That all just came from, I guess, collective thoughts, man. Just things that were going on in my head. But a lot of people have said the very Aztec totem kind of style. So yeah, and they are. So that's probably something that I brought in my mind at some point. But yeah, it wasn't sort of on purpose. I've actually got. Do you want to see the lineup, the timeline of Xenodemon?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, man. Right. So that was my first one. This is a gummy, like a Keshi style one.
The whole thing is very like Keshi rubber, like hard rubber.
That's the first one I made. That was my first kind of like, that's my first cast as well. So yeah, that was my first book. And then I wasn't happy with that one, so we did this dude. But I've always been happy with the body. I've always kept that body, you know. So yeah, we did that one. That was the Mark II. And then how it is now.
That one's so sharp, man.
Yeah, man. This was painted by a friend of mine. He's called the Droid Foundry, and he sells so much shit, man. He's he's a really cool, nice dude.
His work is sharp too. That's one of the few artists you've mentioned I knew.
And he's the coolest dude, man. You know, and he's just like, yeah, he paints these little drawings.
Yes, I know. They're gorgeous.
Look at that, man.
Oh my goodness. They're so much larger than I expected.
Yeah, it's cast out of solid resin.
His paint ups make them look like they have parts of actual metal on them. I've wondered if there's actual metal bits on them because of his paint ups.
Yeah, no, it's just all weathered by paint, man. It's brilliant.
Wow.
Yeah, so yeah, he painted those little Xenodemons, and yeah, and you've seen that. Yeah, you've seen this dude.
That thing is huge, man.
Yeah, man. He's yeah, I think he's about 4 inches. He's quite chunky for me. So yeah, fingers crossed.
You've probably made quite a few molds at this point through trial and error to get to where you wanted to be.
Yeah, I've got a black bag full of them.
Crazy. What? Do you not chop them to use for other molds?
Chop them. That's a new one for me. Yeah.
Okay. You might want to maybe look into it a little bit, because I'm not going to be like the guy who claims to be the expert. But a lot of these dudes, when they've got a mold that they'll no longer ever touch, mess with, especially if it's pooched, they'll actually chop pieces of it off. And when they go to the next mold, they'll actually put pieces of that silicone in there to fill up gaps, so that when they go to not actually wasting it, or they're not occupying space.
Yeah, that's a good idea, man. Yeah, really good idea. Because I don't like wasting stuff as well. I mean, try and be kind of conscious, you know, of the environment as well, because it's a lot of waste, you know.
It adds up very quickly, for sure.
Yeah.
I think I got really jimmied up when I saw that you had done the cardboard recycle packers. That got me so jimmied up, because I love seeing reduce, reuse, recycle stuff, man.
Yeah, man, that wasn't my idea though. I really can't remember who posted something up. I think it was one of the really well-known, you know, artists as well. And yeah, I just thought, oh, that's really punk. It's just, I've got loads of shipping boxes, man. The amount of stuff, you know, the amount of toys I've bought, yeah.
I get it, dude. It starts looking almost like Amazon. Yeah. No, I can totally get down with that, man. So if you don't mind, I'm gonna kind of slam into some questions real quick.
Okay, dude.
Feels good?
Yeah, I feel good, yeah.
All right. So what would you say is your favorite part of the whole creating process?
Popping it out of the mold.
Oh, and then what type of molds do you use?
I just use just normal silicone molds. And for the US guys who might watch this, smooth on mold or whatever it's called that you guys use, £40 here for 1 kilo. So yeah, no smooth on for me.
Wow. So, and that's what I mean, right? The price differences across the...
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Yeah.
Brutal. And then what's your favorite tool you have in your arsenal?
It's a knife. It's just a cutting knife with a smooth end. Yeah, man, that's what I use. That's probably my favorite tool.
That's the go-to.
That's the go-to. It's just it's like 2 paper clips.
Inside of almost like a long pen.
Yeah, man, but you can do it. You can get all your smooth in, and it's good. Yeah, favorite tool.
And then what's your favorite medium?
Clear epoxy resin, I guess.
Yeah.
And Sculpey. Sculpey firm.
Sculpey firm. What would you say is like your thing? What do you excel at?
Oh, I just like them to. Everyone wants them to look good, but yeah, just to look, just to be finished nice. You know, I don't know. I like a nice finish on something.
When you mentioned like a nice finish, that's what's kind of crazy. Like you hit it with a lighter, you sand it, and then you were actually telling me one day you hit it with nail polish, clear coat.
Yeah.
That's excruciating. Like to actually, like, you have to brush that on the whole figure.
Yeah, that's only because I'd run out of spray. Yeah. I think I stole my daughter's clear nail varnish.
Maybe that's even part of where they have that smell. Is maybe it's meant to actually be like for.
Yeah.
Brutal. And then, out of curiosity, do you smell your toys when they come in?
Yeah. If they look like they need to be smelled. You know, if I get one that's got like a hair on it or something, I might not want to smell it. You know, but yeah.
When you collect, do you collect more Sofubi, Keshi, or resin?
resin and keshi. I prefer that kind of handmade feel to it. I feel Sofubi's more. It's more. I know you can get some really cool sculpts and amazing spray paint, but I don't know. I prefer the more rough textured kind of stuff.
I get on that, man. Consider your works as being art, toys, or just toys?
Oh, yeah, toys, I guess.
Really? You lump them right in there? And then, do you have a favorite maker or toy line?
Maker or toy line? Too many. At the minute, Daniel Yu. I love his that kind of. I've just got one of those terracotta. Have you seen the terracotta demon guy? Terracotta zombie, or yeah. Oh man, I absolutely.
Yeah. Gorgeous figure, man.
And that's all magnetic as well, magnetic arms, but it feels like stone, and it's out of resin. Crazy. Yeah, so I like his stuff, but I really like False Idol stuff, and why I like his stuff so much because I don't know, it's crazy.
Sometimes it just clicks.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. I'm fascinated by the way he casts. It's just this. I don't know. It's just so gloopy, and the base is like cut really rough like stone, and it's just it's crazy, man. I just like toys.
We can't pinpoint it. Like someone will be like, "Oh, you're a 3.5 guy," and you're like, "No, I just like nice pieces." Yeah. Down to.
It takes me back. So when I was a kid, my dad had an old study, and he had this jade ashtray, and it was like just really jagged and really rough looking. But it's always kind of stuck in my head, it's just weird, isn't it? Those sort of things, how it clicks.
Well, I think a lot of us too. It's strange if you see people's shelves, you'll actually see like collection with like collectible items that range, but you also see like a fossil. Or you'll see like a rock or a piece of like random beach glass. Items will also kind of be on the shelf, given the same significance as a sculpt or a toy, or a painting.
Definitely.
It's trippy. That's kind of worked out, man. And I like how that seems to be a constant with a lot of the artists and the collectors.
Yeah, for a while I used to, I used to chase like the famous artists, and they're all good artists, don't get me wrong, but like Mutant Vinyl Hardcore and all those kind of guys. And I don't know, I liked the idea of sort of digging deeper, and don't know, just the guy who's working out of his front room or his kitchen, or just producing what's going on in the head, really, and just that kind of it's. I know that's how those guys started as well, but I don't know, I just like to broaden it.
Some of the most exciting and best pieces that I've ever gotten, and are like the most cherished in my collection, are the ones where the guy has like 500 followers, 700 followers, nobody's really in, but you see that this guy is just doing his thing, doesn't really care about the networking and selling lots, just making lots of toys, and is doing it out of his spare room in the house or part of his bathroom. And I find those are the pieces that there's just way more soul. You end up getting them a little bit more.
And I think that's, for me, that's the most important thing. I still like personal touch. I like to send a message to somebody and say, how do you do this? Or have you got any of those still available? Or just, just a bit of, that kind of stuff. And just how are you doing? And having a chat like we are,
You fall in love with the figures that you see these guys post, and you fall in love with their work. But then the piece becomes more significant because it's not just about the piece. Now, I definitely don't want to take up much more of your time here, but before I let you get on with the rest of your evening, was there anything that you kind of wanted to tell us about, or kind of lead up for any kind of drops come in, or you're just doing you and it's all rolling?
Well, yeah, I'm waiting for those to finish curing, so,
Dude, the moment I said it, I was like, you idiot, Crumbs. He just showed you that he's got a whole bunch of molds filled with a brand new sculpt. That's what's coming out.
Yeah.
I do really, really appreciate you coming in, dude, and giving me the time. And I super appreciate you throwing in the extras and going out of your way and doing up a slugger for me, man. It's insane.
It's cool. Your energy, honestly, I thrive off your energy, because you're one of the guys that's, got a lot of energy, man. That's cool.
See, but I soak up the energy from you guys. When you I don't know if you guys get it. Because
it's hard hugging it out.
Well, not everybody is willing to share their art. A lot of people are very intimidated and scared to share their art, especially on a platform like Instagram, and to just dive out there and start doing it and sharing it, to me, that kind of shit fills my cup, man. And when you're having like a rough day, and even if you can't necessarily like stop and take in everything happening on Instagram, it's nice when you just like take a second, you pop in there and you just see some really rad shit. And you see these people that are just like, no matter what their conditions, no matter what situations they might be in, they have an idea and they're trying to get it out. And they're sharing it with us regardless. And that shit really fills my cup. And then when you meet people that are doing it, like, there's no criteria, there's no marks. I'm not sitting here actually like judging anybody who comes in. But there's just certain things that when people say them, you can't help it almost kind of feel like elevated and filled with good juju. When you're saying like, man, I'm just making what I love. And, oh, you know, you're sitting there being like, oh, fuck, like, get out of here. You can't be that humble. You're not allowed to be that humble. You know what I mean? And it just brings all this value to a piece where it makes you really want to like, it's a very organic thing where when you're talking to your other homies in the scene, you really want to like scream in here, like, get Xenodemon toys. Like, it literally, you get hyped up about the works, and you want everybody to get some. You're like, no, you need to get some of it. And you do that, man. So I appreciate that. That shit makes days good. It makes life good.
Mutual, man. Mutual.
Well, thank you so much for coming in, man, and try to have a great rest of your evening. I really appreciate everything you do, dude.